What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking.
What's up, everyone? As we begin another great show, it's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, and we're here to motivate you so you can take it to the next level out of this world and all that. But enough about me talking. I have my special guest by the name of...
Hey, I'm Cintel.
And she's ready to drop bombs of knowledge and great inspiration from her story. So let's go ahead and get things started. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Cintel. I'm a poet, spoken word artist. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Snap, snap, snap.
From Houston, Texas, and a founder of In-Depth Learning, which is a tutoring company for the youth. So I'm a big advocate, making sure that they can read and, they are well with education and, just their whole bodies.
That's awesome. So, education is a very key thing to, especially the youth and our future generation. What actually got you started? What drove the passion into this?
Well, I've always loved working with kids. I have always aspired to be like a counselor. So I originally went to school for counseling, but then I changed it probably midway through. Because, I did have a child and I wanted to make sure that I was available and present for my kid. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got started. And I've been in education since 2007, since my daughter was born.
Awesome. And I know that you get great joy from seeing the little ones pretty much grow and get stronger and attain so much knowledge. So with that said, as things progress, especially with education, what is give us at least 3 key things that you're taking that actually some parents at home may want to consider?
First things first, make sure that your child goes okay. That's big. I feel like
say that one more time. I want to make sure I think you went in and out. I want to be
sure. That children are exposed to pre-K. Or some type of Head Start program before they enter school. Because kids, they learn to socialize, being able to be around other students. So I understand, every circumstance is different. But it gives them a driving force, and a firm foundation for their education. And I feel like a lot of parents think, oh, I want to keep my kids home, which is fine, but making sure that they do get that exposure so that they're not just dropped in first grade, because I see a lot of students come in for their first year of school in first grade and they have a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was one.
Oh, yeah, I got you. 2 more, I got you.
Making sure that, again, that foundation, if you can't, do much for them, at least just, start them on their ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, just so that they can recognize letters and have an idea about sounds. That way, again, it's a foundation. I feel like the more that they have coming in, the better that they are with progressing and moving forward. That's 2.
1 more.
Just for education, right?
Yes.
Yes. Just basically being supportive, being there for your child, checking those grades, checking them phones, just staying on top.
You say checking them phones. Wait a minute.
Phones.
Go ahead and dive into this. You're not going to just leap over that without just going in detail. Yeah, I'm putting the brakes on that. Yeah.
Because I feel like my daughter's 16. And, she, have all these social medias, TikTok, IG, and there's a lot of things that's on there, and I'm thinking my child, she's a fairly good kid. But it's just like,
oh, the little angel. Yeah. I'm messing with you.
I know. Parents know what they have. No child is angelic. But she basically had got into some things on, one of these platforms, and I had to kind of check that. I made it where she wasn't able to be on there for a while, just until she learned a little bit and grew and got a little wiser. But just making sure that we stay on top of them because we don't want them to get lost. But make sure that you support your children. First things first, just being there for them.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. You must be very supportive of your children because, heck, we got
Yeah.
everything attacking the kids left and right. She was like you in the boxing match. I'm trying to bob and weave. You'll find out real quick I'm real jokey. But with that said, as I continue with this great conversation, is I think this is something that also needs to be brought to attention a lot more. Is like parents are kind of fearful of different exposure, and sometimes can be, let's say, timid to allowing a child to be exposed to different things that would actually be progressive for them. So I want you, in your own words, try to encourage the parents that it's okay to allow your child to be exposed to different things, because I think I've heard from several different studies and then people debate how, like, I understand the safety look at it, but also you kind of prevent them from progressing, if you know what I mean. But you can take it
Mhm.
from there.
I think it is important for them to, just to be able to be children, be kids, be a teen, grow up. Because I know for me, like, we didn't even have social media. We had, like, I had the dial-up
We
internet.
had telephones. We had that telephone
Yes,
you had to go. Look,
yes,
if it was a 911 emergency, you was screwed. You'd be like, oh, I gotta get to the phone.
with the long,
Nine.
yeah,
At that time, the
or
person just looking at you like, really? I'm gonna wait for this.
right, or the phones that had the very long cord. You know, that one phone that you had in the house was in the kitchen,
That
and
everybody and their
you didn't
mama
have any
tripped over.
privacy. um, but I think it is important. It's healthy for them to have, just exposure to a lot. I don't believe in sheltering your children as much as we try to protect them from everything. We're not going to always be there, but it is up to us to instill principles and values and character within our children, so that they can make those decisions, because they're going to have to make decisions on their own. But constantly talking to them, like I said, being very supportive. I've always wanted to be that parent where my child will come to me, because I feel like for me, I couldn't go to my mom. Um, didn't really have my dad available. So I went through a lot by myself. And I've always said I wanted my children to be able to come to me, feel comfortable coming to me, not be afraid. So um, I've given a lot of room for her to have opportunities where she could tell me anything and not be in trouble. You know, and when she
Right.
was little, it started off as oh, mommy, I took a piece of gum, or one time, anyway, let me not put her out there.
You told him that. You told him that on a lot. No, I'm playing.
Exactly. But as she got older, of course, situations changed. So she was able to confide in me in a lot of different ways, and I'm so grateful for that. But again, it is important for them to have, just to have a life as children. But again, with that, comes responsibility. So you give them, age appropriate
Hmm. Most
access
definitely.
to access to the internet, age appropriate, but definitely making sure that you're checking, because there's a lot of pedos out there and a lot of luring that goes on. So just making sure that you are monitoring. But it's okay to let them, explore the world, because they need to learn. That's one thing about, like, being a sheltered kid. I wasn't really a sheltered kid. Like, my mom tried to keep me from a lot of things, but not really. But just making sure that they
Let me find
have
out you a
access.
rebel. I'm joking with
You know,
and
a
she,
little bit,
look.
a little bit. So,
So here's another thing too, and I know I'm gonna make some of the parents be like, "Really? Did you just say that out loud?" Yeah, I did. It's my show. So I want you to hit on this, and it's a lot of things. I mean, I hear this quite often, especially in education, is parents don't want their child to take accountability. Oops.
ooh,
Did I
yeah,
just say that on live camera? Yeah, I
you
did.
did, but it's
Especially
the
on.
truth.
Mhm.
It's the truth.
Go ahead. I already lit the match. I'm like, woo doo.
I didn't cut you off. Yes, 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 yes. I see that a lot, working in education. Again, like I said earlier, parents know the type of child that they have. We all know, who our children are. So for me, I have learned never to put anything past my child. She's not perfect. She's not an angel. She's going to make mistakes, and it's okay. That's how she grows. That's how she learns. But at the same time, there's been times where I had to vouch for her and stand in a gap for her simply because the person was in the wrong, or they tried to belittle her.
As you should.
Yes. So basically making sure that you're an advocate, but don't be to the point to where you like, my child can't do no wrong, because accountability is important. You don't give your child the
A scapegoat.
Yeah. But no, but not just that, but like if you don't teach them at a young age, they're going to be, I don't even know how far I can go, but horrible adults.
You better speak the truth.
Horrible adults. Because if you think about it,
there we go.
We have to learn to function. We have to learn to, compromise. We have to learn to communicate. We have to learn to work with other people. That's never going to go away unless you're just in a bubble. So you're going to have to learn how to accept wins and accept losses, because you're not always going to be right. You're going to have to learn to, be able to have what is it? I guess, what is it, like mild-tempered? I can't even think of the word, but just basically being a person that understands that the world does not revolve around you. The world does not revolve around you. And, just making sure that you're teaching your children, like, not everybody's going to like you, and it's okay.
Finally, somebody else said it.
True story. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you have to be okay with that. You got to learn to keep moving and continue to stand in who you are, despite if you are accepted or not,
And stand strong with your own individual cup of tea. But like, you don't like me? Cheers. Next.
Exactly. But yes, accountability is very big, because if you don't learn it as a young adult, you're not going to learn it as an adult, or you're going to be hitting your head up against a brick wall several times before you learn it.
Ooh, them brick wall hurt. Ooh, they hurt. Ooh, they like, ooh.
Yes.
And I completely agree with you with that, because especially nowadays, we need to see kids, teenagers and all that, and take more accountability, because it helps you mold you to reach your success, to become the leader, and much more. And we don't want a bunch of, adults and leaders who don't want to take accountability when they make mistakes. Because like you were saying, you pretty much phrased it perfectly. Like, we're human, we're going to learn, we're going to make mistakes, but just take accountability and keep moving forward. You get respected so much better when you do that.
And I think for me as a parent, like, that literally was something that I had to learn. I had to learn that it's okay to apologize to my child. Being, a Black parent that was once Black.
You better not say that, so you better speak that proudly.
It's always stay in a child's place, get out of grown folks' business. Mama did something wrong. I'm mama and I could do it, So I, as a new parent, I found myself saying those same things. Just do it because I said so, no, don't talk back. And it's like, bro, it's okay. Your child has a response. They're voicing their opinion. It's okay. But I had to learn that, I had to learn that it's okay for my child to, express herself, and she's not talking back. So I don't have to get onto her all the time, So it took me a while to learn that. But back to accountability. Sorry, I went all the way to the left. I had to learn that it's okay to apologize to her, because that's showing that I have accountability. If I do something wrong to you, or if I said something wrong, or if I mishandled you, I need to be able to say, oh, you know what? That was mommy's fault. I apologize. Can you forgive me? Because I feel like as adults, we feel like we have to talk down to kids, or feel like we have to set things straight. And it's like,
I'm the one on top of them.
Yeah.
King Kong and
it's like we become bullies.
Ooh.
That's crazy. We become bullies. So if we are trying to teach them accountability, we first have to be accountable ourselves. Yeah.
She over here dropping bombs and everything else.
That's
Yo, trying to
big.
catch. She's trying to. I'm trying to catch my breath because I dropped so many bombs on that one. Look, y'all. I know y'all sore from this one. You'll be all right. Just go to sleep and wake. Yeah, as you said, just go to sleep. You'll be all right the next morning.
Just go to sleep. You'll be all right. Yeah.
But like, I want to make sure I also hit, and we're gonna keep on education as well. But I want to also hit on like you as a poet. So, what got you into this? What's the inspiration
Man.
behind that?
So I've been writing since I was like 9 years old.
9 years old.
Yes. Um, yeah. It has helped me along my journey in life. And I'm smiling because it's just like,
She had a
where would
flashback,
I
y'all.
be with, huh?
I said she had a flashback, y'all.
Yeah, because it's like, where would I be without the pen and pad and ability to express in written form,
Mhm.
you know? I tell, a lot of people that growing up, I felt like my voice was stripped before I had an opportunity to use it. So I didn't really, and I had the longest, I had the longest time learning how to really communicate verbally. And I know it sounds crazy, but yes, I knew how to talk, but it was he like, yeah. But it was more so being able to just say how I felt, express what was going on with me. Because I felt like I always had to shut up or be in secrets. Don't say this, don't tell, don't tell, don't tell. That was a big thing. And it was just like, okay. So it just made me just withdraw into myself. But that's where it started, like me just writing how I felt down, because I literally would fumble over my words every time when somebody would ask me a question, even into my adulthood. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
People would interviews. Oh my gosh, interviews. I hated interviews because I would be so nervous. But I've come a long way, thank God. But yeah, that's where
Gotta
it
give all
started.
praises.
Yeah, stemmed from my childhood, and I was known around pretty much every school that I stepped foot in that I was a writer. And
She
I
put her
tell this
foot down, y'all.
story.
She put her foot down.
Right, my aunt I left my journal at her house, like literally.
You
I
know,
wouldn't
she
mingle
probably
with
went through
people.
all the pages. She's
She
like, let me see what this is.
did. When I say I felt so violated, like I was
Oh
so
my
mad
God.
at her because it's like, bro,
What you
this
been
is
writing in
my
that journal?
diary.
What you been writing in that journal?
And she was like, oh my gosh, you write so well, ma'am. That is like my blood stains on those pages, my tears, my
And this you
my precious
and this
and
you would probably be slicking black. By the way, who's Jonathan? Wait a minute, you got
right.
that?
And she probably still has them till today because I never got them back. I never got them back. Come to
She
think of
wrong
it,
for that.
never got them back. But yeah, so that's where I started writing. And in 2009, I want to say, I was at this church and they were doing like the word spoken, I think it's called, or it was called. And
Spit poet.
that was the very first time that I had shared my writing, you know, and, of course, one of the topics. Anyway, yeah,
Detour.
so
Okay, I'm messing with you.
I was so nervous, just like telling the world my thoughts, because my thoughts weren't always pretty. I had a lot of trauma, so I
But
wrote.
I'm glad you said that though. But that tells your story even more because it makes people relatable. Like it doesn't always have to be good if you think about it. A lot of times, if even in the music, we relate to when a person or the artist basically is going through trauma. Shoot, those are the ones that be
That's
hitting
very true.
the top charts. Be like, I feel you.
Yeah.
Whitney.
Right. Yeah, that's
Gotcha,
very
gotcha.
true. Very, very true. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
so 2009 was the very first time that I had got on stage and shared my emotions and thoughts and with the world, and it was the most nerve-wracking thing ever. Oh my gosh. I was literally like, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna think? I'm
Before
gonna
I
get
say
thrown out of this church.
I'm gonna comment on that before I do though. Go ahead and get shot out there. It's real quick. He said, "Go get it." You know, that's
Go
my good
get
friend.
it.
Great
Hey.
motivation. Definitely check him out. He has some great inspiration as well. If you're not, he will tear the house down with his
Love it.
words. Now I'm about to mess with you on this. Now I love the whole story and all that and much more, but I just find it kind of funny how you be like, oh, I'm so shy. You have not seen this woman, yeah, I said woman, perform on open mic. She acting all shy right now and on
Uh,
this live camera. But if you saw her in open mic in a live audience, she had everybody applauding, like, "Ooh, I feel that." Rewind.
oh, rewind. Right. I'm always like, oh my gosh, if they say rewind.
So don't let her fool you. She knows how she can perform. She ain't shy. She's just being shy right now a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
So
bit.
I know you mentioned something about correct me wrong, like a tutoring company, I believe,
Mhm.
for education. Go a little bit more in depth about that.
So I service students around Houston area, Galena Park area. There's a lot of students that struggle with reading. So that's basically what I do. Of course, that math. I really tutor all subjects. That's mainly, where I'm pulled for.
How can I contact you?
Um, Via email. My email mainly. And I guess I can put the information or exchange information, but kingdombeauty32@gmail.com. Um, yeah, that's where they can
Gotcha.
email me if they need
Gotcha. That's a
services.
quick little plug, but you can continue with your story. I just had to like
Yeah. Um, I forgot where we were.
my bad, I done messed up. I
It's
still got it though.
okay.
So like with that, like how have you seen the impact of you with your tutoring business when it comes basically all the grade levels?
Oh yeah. So basically I try to, kind of see where the kids are and see how I can help them, of course, but I try to make it fun. I've always been a teacher that wants learning to be memorable. I want them to have an experience. I feel like you know, school can be tough, especially for kids,
Mhm.
especially for struggling students. School can be a bit much. So I've always gamified my classroom. So I do the same thing with my tutoring, just making it fun so that they don't really know, or that they know that they're learning, but they forget that they're learning.
Because
But
that's
yeah, it's been a lot of students that have been quite successful. And I have a lot of um, parents that share my successes with other parents, which that's what people are always contacting me to work with their children. But it's really a pleasure of mine to work with kids. I've been teaching for about 10 years, but I've been working in education since 2007, so I've been in the game for a while. So I work with like magnet migrant students, um, you know, Title One schools. I worked high school, middle school, elementary, from what Head Start, yeah,
Hmm.
Head Start up until high school. That's where I've serviced. It's crazy when I think about it. Like, dang,
She over there like, dang, I have been in this game.
I
That
know.
means she has a lot of wisdom. She dropping them books and
Yes,
knowledge and bombs and all that and much
yes.
more. You
And I
about to
always
come with
oh, sorry.
oh no, go. You can come. No. Go before you
I
stop.
always try to incorporate music too, like literally, like I teach science right now. So
Oh,
the
you
kids are
my type
so,
of teacher.
I know the kids, they love it. I come in there and I rap and they're like, oh, are you famous? They keep telling me I need to get a YouTube channel. I say one of these days I may just go ahead and do it. But I mean, it's fun. Like
Mhm.
I believe all means necessary. I feel like every child is different. People learn differently. So I feel like there's no one way to teach. So I try to incorporate
Absolutely.
everything. Music, games, rapping, visual, whatever I have to do just to make sure the kids get it. That's
And
always the goal.
now And they would definitely remember you for a lifetime for doing that. They're gonna like,
Yes.
remember when we played that video and she rapped in front of the class, man? I was mad, but I forgot what I was mad about
All
after
right.
that.
It's
I
so
was
funny
outside.
because like every time I introduce a new song, they just want to sing it like all day, every day. And I'm like, yeah, okay, gotta move past. No, we gotta learn a little bit more. But I remember my fifth grade teacher. You know, she was very kind, very sweet. And I also remember I think my computer lit teacher too.
Hmm.
I just saw her not too long ago too. So she was able to see my daughter and she was excited to
Oh,
know that I became a teacher. And I told her, like, honestly, like, you were one of my favorite teachers, you know,
oh
so it
man.
was really cool to see it full circle, you
I
know.
know she felt warm inside. She was like, man, it
Mhm.
came full circle.
Yeah, she actually she had really poured into me and, you know, growing up in a single family or single parent household, you know, money was tight.
Hmm.
So she took my graduation photos,
Oh
you
man.
know, yeah, she edited everything and allowed me to have, she made graduation, those invitations, all that.
Hmm.
Like, and I was able to tell her thank you, you know, so that was, and it was the most random thing. I was just at the grocery store. We were both doing, like, buying groceries,
Hmm.
and it was just a random thing. And I was like, I know her. And I was like, bro, that's my teacher, you know? So she remembered me. I was like,
Everything happens for a reason. I'm
yes.
becoming more and more of a person and believer of that. It's like
Yeah,
I feel like there's no coincidence when things happen. Because you could
there
have been
is.
like, well, I'm just gonna stay in bed for 5 more extra minutes, and something tells you, get up. All right, I don't know why, but I'm gonna start moving now.
Man, listen, that is all truth. All truth. And she's still a teacher too,
Awesome.
which is pretty dope. And she still looked the exact same. That's crazy. Exact same. I
God's
was like,
nice.
wow.
But
But
I think that's what makes education memorable and worth it, especially when you pour into the youth and for the future, and then you see it come all right. I mean, full circle, and you're like, it paid off. You may have got on my last nerve, but I had to get on you a couple of good times, but it was worth
right.
it.
Exactly. That's funny.
So, what keeps you going, and what's in store for the future?
Man, what keeps me going? Life, you know, my daughter, um, just, you know, it's important. It's important. It's so important. I feel like there's so much that we face, you know, so many obstacles, and, you know, life is not always the best, you know. But just the thought of being on the other side, you know, and knowing that there's greater later, you know. But it's just like I keep going, I push forward, mainly because of her. You know, I want to succeed and, you know, do what I need to do to make sure that she supersedes, you know, all of my, uh, like all of my accomplishments. You know, I always want her to go further than I ever will, you know. But yeah, I have a few things going on. I have a couple features coming up.
Okay.
Um, and yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I've been diving into slam poetry as of late, so that's been pretty cool. So I'm looking to, just keep working hard, keep practicing, and
I told you she
put out
wasn't quiet. I
there.
told you she wasn't shy. I don't know what she just trying to pull on act on for now.
Yeah, man. So that's really cool. I have a couple projects that I'm working on as well. So yeah, just be on the lookout. You know.
Gotcha. I like how she's trying to be humble right now, but she just dropped so many bombs over here. Just got people all inspired. Like, man, I need to do something right now, man.
Yeah,
Or
like
it's
real
that
talk.
like,
I got a couple
or
pieces that I need to finish. So I'm about to go do
mhm.
that. But yeah, but just making sure that, I leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. I want, you know, just to leave an impression, you know. I'm really big on youth and young girls, making sure that they know their worth, knowing that they matter in this life. Young boys too, I feel like,
Who?
no matter the gender, I feel like people need to know who they are. They need to know that they matter. They need to know that there's people out there that really will vouch for them and protect them, and kind of guide them in the way that they need to go. So yeah, man, but legacy is definitely important.
I completely agree with you with that. Yes, yes. Oh yeah. When you have that one parent that's gonna be like, Jasmine, give me your phone right now. You must have saw that video. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like as we close things out, I want you to leave the audience with a closing remark so they can remember and just be like, pondering, like, oh, she got me over here thinking now.
A closing remark. If I can say anything, I would say just keep going, keep living, keep moving forward, and surround yourself with people that are gonna keep you, uh, I guess, in alignment. I feel like we tend to just connect with people, but it's like connect with people with purpose, if that makes sense. Just making sure that you just stay in alignment, because I feel like it's easy to veer off, and even
Mhm.
when life gets hard, just keep going, because I know, if anybody know, I know.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man. She done dropped another bomb again. Let me get the collection play. I'm about to lose my mind. Let me go ahead. You can go ahead and get a collection play. You can go ahead and drop. Let me move the paper towel. You can drop $1, 25 cents, a nickel off any. Let's go ahead with the collection play.
Uh,
But thank you for all that and much more, and especially inspiration to the youth, because education is impacting to our future generation. And
most
I'm glad that you took the time out to be with us. But before I close it out completely, tell the audience where they can find you at.
Instagram, I am under Cintel Glow. Jill Hot at on TikTok. I don't really use it often, but I'm mainly on Instagram at Cintel Glow. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, as I brought you another inspiring guest to help you keep inspired and take it to the next level, of course. And I said my name, and I have my guest with us by the name of.
Cintel Glow.
Nice, nice, nice. So make
Thanks for
sure
having
you
me.
absolutely make sure you like, subscribe, and keep the message going with on your friends and family, because that is what it's all about. And remember, the dream begins and ends with you. Uh-oh, I left them with something. But that's out for all of us. And
Drop the
make
gem.
sure that you keep it going. Peace, y'all.
All right.